Programming languages, they're not like natural languages. They don't do everything. They're supposed to do one particular kind of task and do that task really well. The reason a dedicated language is required for this is because these are tasks that are not supported in conventional programming languages. There are 3 unique differentiating features of Move on SWE. So the first one is the object-based data model. Objects are the fundamental building blocks in SWE Move. It's just a big database of objects. And the kind of task that Move is targeted at is programming with scarce objects. Objects that have conservation properties like, oh, you can't accidentally throw them away. You can't copy them. They have strong ownership transfer. And so with SWE, like, you get all of these things basically for free. Like, defining an object is as easy as you define a struct, it has some fields, it has a globally unique ID, so you have a way to refer to it from your inside of Move code. In the front end, this ID stays the same as the object moves across accounts and travels across time. It gives you a way to always refer to it. And it's not something that the programmer has to do. It's just like every object gets one of these for free. The first change we made when we came out of Libra was to add this object-based data model. The second feature that I think is really interesting is something called Programmable Transaction Blocks. When you have a transaction, it calls a move function, and that's sort of all that it does. And what Programmable Transaction Blocks let you do is, instead of just calling one function, you call a function, and then you call another function. You can pass objects from earlier in the transaction block into functions later in the transaction block. It lets you do composability on the fly from the front end. And so this is probably the favorite feature of SWE builders because it just lets them do so much more than they could if you can call only one function at a time. The third big differentiator is something called dynamic fields, where with Move objects, of course, you declare a set of fields, static types, you write to them, you can update them. But what dynamic fields do is they let you add additional data to a Move object on the fly. Maybe you publish an object and then you decide later, I'd actually like to add this other field to it that I didn't anticipate needing at the beginning, but without having to rewrite my old code or migrate the old object data. You can mix and match objects in ways that maybe the original creator didn't intend, and like create these mashup experiences that are really delightful. So like, we're game developers. I think the dynamic fields is one of the features that they find the most compelling. Say you have a character in a game and they've got an inventory that consists of all these heterogeneous types of objects. The way you would express that in SWE is that the hero character is an object, and then maybe their sword is another object, and it's connected to the hero via a dynamic field that says, hey, here's what I'm holding in my hand. And then, if they have some boots, there's another dynamic field that says, here's what's on my feet. You don't have to know in advance that this is what's going to be needed. You have a lot of flexibility in how you can mix and match things. And there's been some really impressive stuff that SWE builders have done, combining these features to give you a lot more richness and power.